Hey, welcome back, everybody. Quint, thank you for being back on. It's been a little bit since you've been on a video, so I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. What an interesting time to be back on a video.
No kidding. It's
Yeah.
been an interesting week, and obviously we've had a lot of fluctuations. The key focus has been Iran and what's going on there, what's going on with oil. But we also got some interesting economic data this morning, so we can cover and talk about all of those things. Any feedback on some of the things that we've been writing and putting out? I know you've had experience in the past with this kind of thing, with conflicts that are going on. Not too long ago, 2022, you and I were in here dialoguing about what was going on in Israel with Hamas, and now obviously this is playing out.
Yeah, no, I think your pieces have been timely and wonderful. If you're not reading Logan's commentary on the markets and what's happening in the world, there's a lot of noise out there, and I think you've done an exceptional job really drilling into what's moving the market, particularly this morning. This morning's piece on the pain at the pump. If you're thinking that markets are dicey because of actual conflict, that's not accurate,
Right.
in our opinion. Traditionally, you can go back to pretty much any geopolitical conflict we've had, and markets after the initial shock, like we saw Monday, they respond very favorable. It's very stimulative to an economy. The government has no problem writing checks and so on and so forth. This is different, and you hit upon that very, very well, in that the primary sort of symptom of this is oil, and is the price of oil, which ultimately translates to gasoline, is in everything, right? Not just the transportation to and from work, or if you're traveling, this coming spring break, but is in the products that we see coming into our stores and being shipped from anywhere and so forth. So that can have a dramatic impact on what is already a pretty fragile consumer.
Yeah. Well, and also we think about the market this week, and everybody's, oh my gosh, the market's crashing because this. We were having some market turbulence before this, right? We were already seeing some slight cracks in maybe different parts of the AI space. We had earnings reports where we had a lot of volatility coming off of these names, big down days for certain companies as they reported earnings. So there was already some uneasy footing, and then this is obviously adding.
Oh, the indices do not even remotely come close to the pain that's underneath the surface. If you ventured out to buy individual stocks, you're getting crushed. Like, unless you're in an oil name or a material that's benefiting from what's happening. But anybody who went out and got caught up in the FOMO and bought any of these AI, anybody who went out and did that is absolutely in a house of pain. And quite frankly, it was necessary. Like, that was needed to happen. And what's interesting about this, and again, I think you've done an exceptional job. And I'm very proud of this. And this is going to sound weird. Maybe it's going to sound a little arrogant, but like, I feel for people who are not with you and us as advisors. Like, I read everything. Like, yes, I'm not doing as many meetings as you are. I'm not writing as much as you are. I'm getting ready to step up. I read everything. And if I get another piece from people, oh, this is okay, we're going to weather the storm, blah, 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 I want to vomit. I mean, it doesn't, what value add is that? Value add is saying, we've been defensive. You've been in a position of defensive posture for a long time now. Thankfully, you've seen this coming. And we didn't know what it would be.
No, we didn't know the catalyst, but we knew it was going to
You never know the catalyst. The reality is, okay, you got a kid reaching on a chair, trying to get something off the top shelf on the tippy toes, okay, and you're like, this is not great. He could slip and fall. He might drop the thing. The chair could fall out. A million things can happen. We don't know why, but we know the scenario that we've seen over the last year has not been great. Meanwhile, here we are, and you're now looking, we talked about it earlier, you're looking for opportunities because there's going to come opportunities through this.
Yeah, like you said, we've already seen pain in the underlying names, a lot of these individual stocks, and it's starting to potentially present itself in the indices as well, although it's not as dramatic. We're starting to see some weakness across the board in various different places of the market. And I think the market has woken up Thursday and Friday, particularly this week, to this conflict is probably going to last quite a bit longer than what was originally thought of, maybe Monday and Tuesday, when the market had pretty muted responses overall. So now with oil over $90 a barrel, what kind of things are we looking at and seeing as we move forward?
Well, I think it can be dangerous to predict the next move because I, to speculate in this, I'm becoming more opportunistic. You're doing this, and you're now the mouthpiece, which is amazing. But I'm now becoming more opportunistic. This is exactly what we have been wanting to see, and that is great, high quality companies coming back to a level that is attractive to be a buyer of. Remember, we want to bet on the long term economy of the United States. Have we seen conflict? Have we seen wars? Have we seen issues? Yes, we've seen it all. Tariffs, yup. COVID, yup. Death, disease, famine, all of it. Okay, what ultimately happens? Prices return to reasonable levels. Nobody wants them. I find that fascinating. Oh, I'll buy it at 400. I can't get enough of it. At 200, no way. I don't want to touch it. What? When milk's on sale, I try to buy like 3 or 4 gallons. My wife gets mad at me. Okay, the reality is we now are seeing this, and you're in a position to take advantage of it. You're going to be in a position when everybody else is white knuckled, holding on. Oh my goodness, I hope this comes back. And you're going to step in and go, yeah, I'll have a little bit of that. I'll have a little bit of that. And that's how proper money management is done. So I've been, as you can all tell, I'm very enthusiastic. If you're not proud of what you're seeing out of this young man right here, you're not reading. Like, you're not aware of what's going on because you've dialed it in, whether it's Jack Pattie on the radio. Your head's going to be big here. I didn't mean for this to be like this cheerleading event. We don't
have to go down that
but I've listened on the radio what you're doing and the pieces that you're putting out and the videos that you're doing. You're doing exactly what you should be doing in this environment. And it's really nice to see. So bravo to you.
I really appreciate that. And I hope folks out there, take some time, if you haven't this week, to read some of the things that we've been writing and putting out, because we're trying to break down all the noise. You said that to start. There's a lot of noise out there. There's actually a lot of headlines out there that I've read and I'm like, that's actually false.
Yeah.
It's not even actually true whatsoever. So we're trying to cut through that for you a little bit. Definitely read and go through those. I will copy below some of the conversations I've had with Jack this week, going on the radio and talking about the various different things that are going on in the market. But I don't want to miss the news we got on Friday, because it can get overshadowed by a lot of the other things that are going on in the market. But we had an expectation of close to, these are not the exact numbers, but close to 50,000 additional jobs to be added last month. That number actually came in down 90,000 jobs. Any thoughts on that? The big kind of reversal in the jobs market that I don't think is moving markets as much because everybody's focused on Iran, but I think is pretty big news.
There's a 2-step process to this whole thing, and it's going to be difficult. You can't jump to the second step. The second step is that's recessionary. Like, the more and more people, whether it's Oracle laying off, my goodness, Block, Jack Dorsey's company, laying off 40% of their employees, like, that's a problem. However, that's actually step 2. Step 1 is this little thing called the Fed. And if the Federal Reserve didn't wake up to the fact that they're probably, my opinion, our opinion alone, way behind in the rate cutting, like, by the time they do it, it's behind. And in my opinion, this data screams that. So again, but that's step 1. We have a lot of liquidity that can go into the system to regenerate jobs, whether it's in construction, whether it's in manufacturing. Any of these industries that are starting to feel tight because of the rates can pick up very quickly. So again, it's very easy to just go, oh, that's it. In my 25-year career, I've done it. People have done it. That's it. It's over. It's not. No. It's not over. No. It's far, far from over. Can it be dicey? Certainly. Can it be volatile? Certainly. That's why you have a plan. That's why you have someone at the helm who's watching it every day. You don't look like you've gotten a lot of sleep this week.
Not a ton.
No, but welcome to the business, right? I mean, you already knew that. You've been doing it for 6 years. That's what we do, right? When there's turbulence in the sky, you want the pilot to come on and go, listen, I got it. I got it. And you've done an exceptional job at that.
Well, I really appreciate that. I didn't expect you to come on and say,
yeah, I didn't either.
Appreciate it. But it's going to be a time period where you just got to strap in to a degree. That's how I ended the last letter. It's going to be a time where we're going to feel the waves. I think the one constant that we're going to have is that it's going to be non-constant. Like we are going to see changes and fluctuations in the market up and down. It's not necessarily all going to be down. So we have to strap in and wait. We're looking for opportunities to put some of the capital to work that we have backed off and trimmed from certain areas. And we'll certainly be keeping you updated as we look for those opportunities.
Great. Wonderful.
All right, everyone have a great weekend out.